So many reasons for you to be happy, so many reasons for you to be smiling, but you're not about to see them, you're not about to feel.
What's going on, everybody? I'm very sorry that I ended up getting on so late. It's having a lot of issues with the system going live. But either way, I'm here now. So if you're still watching, I appreciate it. Firstly, I want to send a special thanks to Peter Marco for his amazing jewelry. Uh, as you can see, and he does bracelets also, hand set all diamonds. So I want to thank him. Definitely, if you're ever in Beverly Hills or on Rodeo, both, make sure you stop by. Say I sent you here, look out for you. But to the main situation, the story at hand, the road to my dream actually started at 5 years old. My mother, Betty Duarte, was one of the most winningest, famous coaches to ever coach women's basketball in my city. She coached many years, won championships, undefeated season. Actually, the first undefeated season by a woman head coach in the history. So she also played in college, won championships there, and that's kind of where my dream started. I have uncles and just basically everybody around me has played basketball at a high level. So it's kind of what I grew up around and all I knew. The beginning stages was pretty much like everybody else, from rec leagues until middle school and then high school. Um, but with me, it was a little different. Even in middle school, I never was the first pick or the one that started or even played a lot of minutes. But that went on, and I just continued to work hard at my dream and strive for it. And once I got to middle school, about seventh grade, going into the eighth, is when I started noticing like I had something special. I was about 5'7", and she was dunking. Nobody else was dunking. So it was something special. Started drawing a little bit of attention. Once I got to high school, ninth grade, I went out for the team, and I got cut. Devastated. Not believe to anybody, but then some people tell you work hard, like you have 3 more years and just keep practicing. So I went back and played rec league, and then my second year I went right back out again. And this coach that was there, he actually cut me from the team. So once again, it was heartbreaking. I went back and started working out real hard. My mother actually knew a couple people which had an AAU team. So I ended up making that team. But then again, I was cut from my high school. But the championship in my sophomore year with my AAU team, the Crusaders, actually a state championship. I played great. Then on to my junior year, I went right back out one more time, and I was cut from the team again. Same coach. So then I started questioning myself. I'm a very spiritual guy, so I actually started to question God because I prayed every day. I worked very hard, and it just seemed to not happen for me. But having a praying grandmother, actually 2 of them, and they just kept me focused. But I had a lot of people that was telling me like, you would never play. You need to try something different. You're never gonna play in college. You're not making a high school team. Actually, one person in particular I looked up to a whole lot. He's actually in the NBA now. Uh, he told me I would never play in college. I would never play pro, and it was just I used that as motivation uh, to get to the point that I am today. So, anyways, worked out, worked hard. This is 3 years consecutively that I was cut. Then I go back my senior year, and I went back out for the team, and the same coach cut me again. Very tough. I didn't know what was going to happen because my dream looked very shallow then. But I continued to have my faith. I continued to pray, and I just felt that I was somebody special looking at my talent, nobody my height, uh, my size was doing the things I can do in my hometown. And so I prayed, I sent emails out to probably over 100 schools. Well, I ended up making contact with one university, Blaise McCray, and it happened for me. They actually gave me a scholarship, NCAA Division II, and that was when my dream actually started to flourish. They go from not playing, being cut 4 consecutive times in high school, which hasn't really ever been done for somebody, and they still go and get on scholarship in the NCAA. But it happened for me, so I knew that God had my back. I got there, and then I worked hard. I redshirted my first year with Coach Unger, and he was tough on me, uh, very very tough. Um, but it helped me. It made me a stronger person and build character, and he and along with everybody else, seeing that I would go through and I would do anything to get to this point and reach my dream. So the next year I was going to play a lot, and actually was looking to start. And he ended up getting fired that summer. So a new coach came in and he cleared the entire team out except maybe 2 players. So it was like my dream opened up, was happening, and it got crushed all in one year. So I ended up having some contacts and some good people that was behind me and supporting me. And I ended up transferring to PSU, which I did great there, and I finished out there. Then I started wanting to figure out what it was to take for me to go pro. So I ended up going out to Atlanta. I got me an agent and a couple trainers, Bo Peterson and Dorian Lee. We call him D. Lee, which is the 2 top most famous trainers in Atlanta, Georgia, when it comes to playing basketball. They worked with me. Everything I know on a professional level, they taught me. I have to give them all the credit for that. Um, but with my agent, we ended up having some teams overseas, and they just didn't work out for me. So I kind of took things in my own matter. Once again, I said that I'm a spiritual guy, so I started to pray a lot while I was working out and try to understand what was going on. So it was around September, end of September, beginning of October, and I'm just like, man, like people already left to go start their season overseas. What am I going to do? So I made contact with the Harlem Globetrotters, and I ended up going through some people and getting in contact with the head scout. He's seen some of my videos, and over a few months, I went back and forth with him. I was probably aggravating him because I was calling him every day or texting him 2, 3 times a day. But I was determined to get what I wanted. I felt like either he's going to give me an opportunity or he's just going to be like, man, go to hell. So he ended up giving me an opportunity. Um, and I ended up working out with the team, basically a tryout. And it happened. I impressed the coach, I impressed some of the players, I impressed basically everybody that was able to view and see me. Um, and my dream continued to begin as a professional. A few months later, I got a call and let me know that I was going to join the team as a taxi player. Basically, this would be my learning year. But to go from not playing in high school to a tough college career to this point, it's just been a miracle for me. Um, I look for many big things to happen for me, and I believe once again that I'm very different and touched by God for all these opportunities and gifts that I'm getting. So, one thing I want to say is that I believe that God sometimes hides people, special people, and by that I mean that He will hide you at times that you're striving for something when it's year after year after year and you feel like it's just not happening for you, but you know you're giving your all and you're putting everything into it. Well, God has certain people that are meant to be higher than just average. Certain people that are meant to draw crowds of millions all around the world to come closer to Him. And just by, in my situation, by having to, repeat after repeat after repeat, I've been of setbacks, but now He brings me out and Not just brings me out because I could have been like everybody else. I could have played every year in high school, went to college, and then went overseas or to the NBA, and I would have been no different than nobody else. But by me having to take the route that I had to take, now he put me on a global stage, which I would get an opportunity in the future to play all around the world. So that this talent that he's given me, because I understand that this is something that you just can't go in the gym and work hard and get. You have to kind of be blessed by God to get it. So to be able to go in this field and know that I'll be able to reach out to children and just show my talent once again to the world. He hid me, but he's bringing me out now as a miracle child, because anybody that knows the game knows that it just doesn't happen like that. If you don't play in your lower leagues in high school, it's not likely to get a scholarship in college, NCAA, and play pro. So I just thank God for this opportunity. Any city in the near future that, or a fan or follower or somebody just needs motivation, like watch my videos, watch my story. It'll help you. It helped me, and I believe that it'll help millions of people, because it's not about me. God, I believe, is using me to reach out and to show people that no matter what you're going through, that He can bless you, whether it's a sport, whether it's a medical career or entertainment career, anything it is. If you believe in God and you believe in yourself and you never give up, you have an opportunity. Never give up on yourself. One other thing I want to lastly say is that plant a seed, water it, let it grow. By this I mean your talent, your career that you're striving for is your seed. You plant that seed, watering it. I mean, you work hard every day, diligently. You never take a day off. Never get sidetracked. Never try to go do something different. Do what you want to do. Love what you're trying to do, no matter how many times you get set back. Because, and lastly, faith. You have to pray and have faith and wait for it to happen. And by this I'm saying, if you plant a seed, you plant a watermelon and it doesn't come this season, and you stop watering it, it's never going to come. But if you continue to water it, continue to take care of it, it might not come this season, but it just might come next season. And if you give up, you'll never know if it'll come. You might plant your seed and it doesn't come for a couple years, and then if it's a watermelon, for example, 2 seasons go by, it doesn't grow, and then it ends up growing and it becomes the biggest watermelon in the world. Now you're famous and you're successful because you have something that nobody else has ever had, and you become great. And that's what I mean by being touched by God and touched by being hitting and also planting your seeds. So once again, I think that I've basically gave you a brief of my story. Hopefully this is a motivating message for some of you. And I will be going back live later, probably be late December. Once the USA Tour starts, I'll keep you updated on what's going on with me and my career, and I'll continue to send motivating messages. If you see me going sideways, my son is right here, and he's acting crazy. Say hello.
Hello.
Say, I've been acting up.
I'm not acting up.
So my dad keep having to get at me. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Deuces.
Doo-doo.
Alright. Thank all y'all for viewing, and I'll see you later.
Hey man, who's that cat coming down the street?
I don't know, but it sounds to me like that's just the man with the bone.
Sure having himself a ball.